Okay, left off Genesis chapter 26. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed, for I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven. And I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And the men of the place asked him of his wife. And he said, She is my sister. For he feared to say, She is my wife. Lest, said he, the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out at a window, and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife. And Abimelech called Isaac and said, Behold, of a surety, she is thy wife. And how saidest thou, She is my sister? And Isaac said unto him, Because I said, Lest I die for her. And Abimelech said, What is this thou hast done unto us? For one of the people might lightly have lain with thy wife, and thou shouldest have brought guiltness upon us. And Abimelech charged all his people, saying, He that toucheth this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Then Isaac sowed in that land, and sowed in that land, and received in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. And the man waxed great, and went forward, and grew, until he became very great. For he had possession of flocks, and possession of herds, and great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, and the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, Go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. And Isaac departed thence, and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham. And he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley, and found there a well of springing water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, The water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. And they digged another well, and strove for that also. And he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence, and digged another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth, for he said, For now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. And he went up from thence to Beersheba. And the Lord appeared unto him the same night, and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and will bless thee, and multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he builded an altar there, and called upon the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants digged a well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Ahuzath, one of his servants, and Philcol, the chief captain of his army. And Isaac said unto them, Wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you? And they said, We saw certainly that the Lord was with thee, and we said, Let there be now an oath betwixt us, even betwixt us and thee, and let us make a covenant with thee, that thou wilt do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, and as we have done unto thee nothing but good, and have sent thee away in peace, thou art now the blessed of the Lord. And he made them a feast, and they did eat and drink. And they arose up betimes in the morning, and sware one to another, and Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well which they had digged, and said unto him, We have found water. And he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Bashemeth, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mind unto Isaac and to Rebekah. Okay, so Isaac is the son of Abraham, and we see God appearing to him, being faithful to him. God had this is the child, Isaac, that God had promised to Abraham when he was old. Abraham was, I believe he was 86 years old when God promised him that he was going to have a son from his own body. So he was already an old man. And then he didn't have Isaac until he was 99. The Lord appeared to him promising, telling him like in this time in a year you're going to have a son, Isaac. So Abraham believed God. And God promised Abraham, all the land that you see, leave your country, and I'm going to lead you to a land. And that whole land, all that you see, I'm going to give it to you. And you're going to have seed out of your own body that is going to be more numerous than the sand on the sea, the sand on the seashore, and the stars in the sky. If you can count the stars in the sky, you'll also be able to count your children. And we are also the seed of Abraham by faith in Christ Jesus. So God being faithful to the promise that he made to Abraham, he appears to Abraham's son, Isaac. So in verse 2 it says, "And the Lord appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee and bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed will I give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father." Just yet another example of the faithfulness of God and how he is faithful and true to his word, and how we can trust him and stand on his promises. And since he says he never changes, neither is there a shadow of turning in him, we can also trust in the promises that are made for us today. Jesus promised that there will be a time of trouble like there never ever been. And that time he called it tribulation. We call it the Great Tribulation. We know that it's 42 months long from the scriptures. God has told me and many other people that we are in that time. He also told me that we have about 2 years left to mark the time. We don't know exactly the day. We don't know the hour. But we know that we are in that season of the end. He said we would know it. He also said you're not in darkness, that day should overtake you like a thief. Paul told us that. We'll know. We know that it's the last time. We know that the Antichrist is revealed. We know that they are gathering together a monetary system and a technology through the RFID chip whereby they will be able to ensure that no one can buy anything, sell anything, or own anything like property or anything like that unless you have the mark of the beast. They have that technology, and they are swiftly making a campaign to convince everybody of the necessity for that. They're going to use people's safety. They're going to tell them, oh, they're already saying stuff like this. All your healthcare information will be right in this chip. Oh, we found this Jane Doe on the side of the highway. Nobody knew that she was a diabetic. Oh, she could have died. No one knew that she was pregnant. And we were able to scan her hand and find out who she was and pull up all of her medical information and all the medications that she takes. And we might have lost the baby because she was not far enough along to be showing. So thank God she had that RFID chip. Or little Bruce was missing from his house, and we were able to turn on the GPS in his RFID chip and snatch him out of the hands of a would-be child molester that had snatched him off the street. And we found him in less than 10 minutes because of his RFID chip. None of those things are going to be able to keep you safe. And that's not the purpose of them. If somebody wants to molest a child and they know kids have RFID chips in their right hand, cut their hand off. None of these things are for the purpose that they tell us. We see the one world government gathering. All we ever hear is globalism, globalism, globalism. The problems are too big for any one nation. We need a United Nations with teeth, with power, so it can enforce the laws that we need to bring peace. All these things are in place. So we have to know. We have to know that we are in the end season, in the final hours. It's just obvious. If you can, bring your faith in the Bible off the page and not be afraid to just look around and see that if God brought us to this moment as the last generation and as the last Christians, we can make it through these times. He's going to bring us through these times. Also, we see how much time I have left. Oh, that's it. God bless.